This is E-Commerce Uncensored. Brought to you by Fast Forward. We're coming to you fully loaded and exposed with all the strategies and techniques for growing your e-commerce business.
Hey everyone, and thanks for joining us on another episode of E-Commerce Uncensored. This is episode number 159. My name is Kevin Manel, and I'm here with
Jason Caruso.
How you doing, Jason?
I'm doing all right.
How you been doing since your new addition to your family?
I've been surprisingly, so I just had a baby on last week, okay?
Last Tuesday?
Last Tuesday. Today is Monday when we're recording this. This will go live on Tuesday.
Right.
It's like the whole thing about getting up in the middle of the night with the baby and all, and everybody says you're not going to have sleep. You're not going to get sleep. And it's true. I get up at 1 o'clock. I'm up at 3 o'clock. But you're so excited that you have a little one that you don't even think about that you're getting up. I hear him cry, boof, I'm up. And it does help that my wife is not really in the business of us giving each other compliments, but she is probably one of the, she's on top of her stuff, my wife.
The biggest thing for me was like the starting over. Like I didn't really do it because I never had a chance to think about it because my kids are only 19 months apart. So it was like my first one was almost still in diapers when I had my second one. So it was like it wasn't starting over. It was just a continuation. For you, it's like your son was like self-sufficient. Your first son was self-sufficient. And then you're like, okay, back in diapers. And how's that been? Has it been a little bit of an adjustment?
What's interesting is that my wife is like hyper concerned that my son is going to feel left out because he's 6 and with the newborn. So she has surprisingly allowed me to spend time with my other son while she takes care of the baby. Mm-hmm. I, of course, when she needs a break, when she needs to go do something, when she needs some time, I'll take the baby, I'll lay in bed with him, that kind of stuff. But I haven't changed the diaper yet. And it's more because she,
a control freak?
No, she's just like, let me do it and you go hang out with Jason.
Okay.
Yeah, and
soon Jason will be your son will be changing the diapers.
Yeah, and the other thing is, like, not to get gross, but he got circumcised and it's still a little raw, so she kind of wants to be the one.
Yeah. You got the belly button and everything
belly
else.
Button, yeah. So she's she's been really good about it, and I say that because like I've worked a lot from home while she's been taking care of it. But anyway.
Well, congratulations, Ben. I'm happy for you.
Ben? Man?
How?
Oh, I thought you said Ben.
I don't know. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm excited. I'm very excited.
So today we're going to talk about something that we've always known about, but we're just expanding on it now and realizing many things from it.
We've talked about this before. Yeah. It's just that the climate of the ad costs changing on Facebook and YouTube and these other platforms, it puts a premium on trying to get the most money from your customer at the time of their purchasing. So what we're going to do is talk about, number one, order bumps and post-purchase upsells.
Yeah. That desire to make that money back on the front end is so strong.
Yeah, it's so important too, is really what it comes down to. And, I think in 2020 going forward, it's going to be even more important. Mm-hmm. So we'll get into that. But before we do, if you are like a lot of our clients, you probably have issues with your 3PL.
It's a constant issue. We always hear about it from our clients.
Always. And 3PL is obviously a third-party logistics company that basically takes your product into their warehouses and they ship it out to your customer. Sort of like how Amazon does it. I ordered something the other day from Amazon. I don't know what's happening at Amazon, but like in the beginning they were great at the 2-day shipping thing, Prime thing. Then like in the middle they became really bad at it. Like I didn't feel like I was getting my stuff as quickly. Now, like I feel like they're getting better again. Mm-hmm. I don't know what's going on. Like I just ordered something. It came on Sunday, which kind of hasn't happened in a while either. So Rakuten Super Logistics does that very thing for you on a smaller scale, right? Mm-hmm. Like you can have a warehouse in your hometown, But that's just one warehouse. Rakuten Super Logistics has 16 of them, or 15 of them.
15.
15, I say that every time.
Yep.
15 of them spread around the U.S. that will allow your products to get to your customer a lot sooner.
Yeah, and speaking to them, they really become like a partner of yours, it seems like. They really ingrain themselves. They want that kind of partner relationship with you and your company so they can help you grow your business so, they grow. So if you go over to ecommerceuncensored.com/RSL and start an account with them, or start the account process, they will actually give you the free account set up for $1,500, and that's if you use promo code uncensored. So head over there and check those guys out. ecommerceuncensored.com/RSL.
Right. Now,
Now,
the next one.
yeah, Klaviyo. Love Klaviyo.
Love Klaviyo.
As always.
We were just talking today about a Facebook ad that we're running for for ourselves, and it's more for like a lead gen type thing where we're getting people on our email list, and then we're putting them through a sequence, and we're selling them stuff. And I just looked last month, we might have spent, just on this campaign itself, we're not spending that much money. We're only spending $120 a day. And I took the cost and I took the revenue from that, and it actually doubled. So, because I was debating whether I want to turn this specific campaign off. Of course, it's going into Klaviyo. Of course, we're using Klaviyo's flows. And if you're running an e-commerce store, which I assume you are, whether it's drop shipping or whatever, and you're not using Klaviyo, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, Klaviyo is so much more, and you're probably thinking, oh, Klaviyo is one of those email marketing platforms. Well, It's not. It's so much more. It's more of like a 300. Well, what they read is like a 360-degree view of your customers, and what they say is own your customers, which is what you do.
Right, and they
own your revenue.
Own your revenue, and they also what they do is they have SMS now, and I'm sure that's just.
I just noticed the other day when I was doing a flow that you can now drag in just the SMS right into the flow. It's so awesome.
Yeah,
such a cool feature.
So if you go to e-commerce, or actually,
you go to Klaviyo.com/uncensored. That's KLAVIYO.com/uncensored to learn more about their awesome platform.
Yeah, and you could sign up for free up to 250 subscribers. You could test out the platform and then bring over all your subscribers after
And their customer support is great. We were talking about, we had set up this list for this Facebook group we're doing, and I had forgotten to take off the double opt-in. So I just shot them an email, and within 24 hours, they're like, we got it. And I think it happened on Sunday, where they actually got back to me.
Oh, wow.
So it was really great.
Awesome.
Anyway.
All right, so what we're going to talk today about is, number one, around buying ads, first of all, and the importance of having ways to siphon money out of, or as much money as possible out of your buyers. Mm-hmm. This is something that I think in 2020, or, actually starting now and beyond, it's going to be really, really important for us to be able to grab as much money from these buyers as possible, because ad costs are rising. Mm-hmm. And as you guys know, by the way, I've been working on this Facebook course that we are going to be launching soon. And if you go to ecommerceuncensored.com/truth, you can sign up. And if you're on the list, you'll get 50% off the course. This is literally going to be a game changer for people. I just saw an ad from somebody on Facebook that was talking about, like...
You mean a post or?
No, an ad.
An ad, okay.
Yeah, I saw an ad where a guy was talking about how targeting is the number... This is his ad. He's like, targeting is the number one thing. If your targeting is off, then your ads are not going to work. And he's like, completely wrong. Like, Facebook's algorithm is so much smarter than you. And that's not the most important thing. I'm sorry.
Well, it's funny because you can see that ad, and then you can scroll a couple more things and be like, the most important part of Facebook ads is campaign budget optimization, or your image or your video, and it'll be different. And I'm sure a lot of you are going through that and seeing that constant diversity. Everybody's saying this thing is the most important, or that thing is the most important thing.
Yeah, and honestly, none of those things are. And this course is going to be literally a game changer for people who are struggling with Facebook ads. But you guys know that we've been spending, and this is pretty insane to me, Kevin.
Insane to you.
Yeah, like
Pretty insane
almost
to me.
like $80,000 a month
Yeah.
in in Facebook ads. How do you feel about that, Jen?
Oh,
Give you
jeez.
$80,000 a month? We can't even get you to work here full
Well,
time.
we'll give you We'll give you 80,000 if you can give us back 160.
Right.
Because that's kind of how that works.
That's how it's working. So we are spending like about $80,000 a month, and what I'm finding is that when you spend that kind of money, obviously your return it gets lowered. It's less. So when you're spending a little bit of money, you can get like high returns, like 3, 5, 6x returns. But as you start scaling that budget, the ROAS starts coming down because your ad starts to show to a lot more people a lot faster, and your creative gets a little bit fatigued quicker, which is something else I'm going to talk about in the course.
And just so you know, ROAS means return on ad spend, in case you guys didn't know.
Right.
Because we'll refer to it as that moving forward.
Right. And I've realized, or not that I've realized, but when you have, let's say, when your ROAS, your return ad spend starts coming down, right? You have to start bringing up your cart value.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you'll spend more to get a client or a customer, but if you can get more out of them on the way out, you can make more money and be more profitable. You are actually experiencing this with one of our clients right now. They have an expensive product that they had to keep at a certain price point or they would not be profitable. Right?
Yeah. I mean, we've seen the product go really well at a certain price point, but it was too low of a price in order for it to make sense on with the Facebook ad spend.
Right. So just to kind of lay that out, very high cost of goods to produce the product. You couple that with the cost of acquisition,
Mm-hmm.
and then you couple that with all the other expenses. Basically, they weren't making any money.
Right.
So, and this is a really big lesson for you guys to learn, is you need to reverse engineer your offers and reverse engineer your thinking, okay? Your thinking should never be, my product has to be at this price point for me to be profitable. It should always be, what price does it need to be at where our clients or our customers are going to buy, and then let me figure out how I'm going to be profitable, not the other way around.
Right.
And most people do it the other way around. Like, oh, my cost of goods are this, my cost of acquisition is that. You add that together, I have to have this. No, that's the wrong way to think about it. Your number one priority needs to be, what price point is my clients, or I say clients because we have clients, but what price point is my customer going to pay?
Yeah,
That's
because
it.
if they're not buying, what does it matter anyway?
It doesn't.
Right.
It doesn't matter. And that's exactly the point. People fall in love with their products. People fall in love with their price points. People fall in love with all the things that don't matter if you can't make a sale.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
So if you have a product that's selling, and the way we knew this is because when we would run like an offer for this client, it would like blow the doors off
At a specific price point.
at a specific price point. That's what I'm saying. An offer. Right. We brought it down for an offer. We would sell like crazy. The minute we raised the price, it would stop selling. Mm-hmm. That immediately tells me that nobody wants to pay the higher price point. I don't care how good the product is, and it's not just this product. It's like any product. I don't care how good it is. We have our own product right now. If we sold it for $1,000, people wouldn't buy it. But they're buying it at $97 and they're buying it at $297.
Right. So once you have that, you see that buying pattern, then you go back, right? Then you go back and you optimize the process to actually get it to a point where you need to be profitable.
Right. And that's where people go wrong with Facebook ads. And it's a big part of what we're going to be teaching, is that most people think it's the images or the the creative, or it's the campaign structure, or it's like everybody thinks it's like the audience. Like they think it's all these things, and it's none of those things. Right. That's the interesting part, is it's none of those things. Those things are there to optimize. You have an offer that's working, you optimize it with better images. You optimize it with campaign budget strategies. You optimize it with landing pages. You optimize it with all these things. That's not where you start, though. Mm-hmm. And that's why I see almost daily on Facebook, my Facebook ads aren't working. Help. No, it's not your ads. Your ads are not selling the product.
Yeah, I've seen it so many times that with this specific client, too. It's like we're literally the same creative across every single offer that we've tried. And since Black Friday, it's been like that. And we just went back to that exact, it was not the exact offer, but the exact price point. And it sells like hotcakes. And now now what happens is we have to optimize that process. So we need to get them to buy and then immediately buy more.
Right, because
increase their average order value.
Right, because the biggest problem you have as a merchant, right, is getting over that trust. So when someone trusts you to give you their credit card, the best time to sell to them, again, is exactly when they just bought something. The dopamine gets released, they're excited, and now you're like, hey.
It's like the second, when we talk about the irresistible offer, is like at that point, they've taken you up on it, and now it's time. They're still going. They're still in that buying mode. So if you can give them that second irresistible offer right then, I mean, I don't know about the what you're running, but I've seen a 30% conversion rate on our upsell, post-purchase upsell.
Yeah, so there's a couple, before I answer that, there's a couple ways to do this, right? There is a post-purchase upsell, which what you're doing, mm-hmm. and there's something that's called an order bump. Now, full disclosure, I didn't come up with either one of those things. I'm just using them, right? Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels, actually, I've learned that from him.
Yeah.
And an order bump is basically offering a product during checkout, and a post-purchase upsell is offering another product after they purchase. They both work. I'm actually seeing more like 50% of the people taking the bump.
Really? So the bump would happen in the checkout process, and usually you'd have to use something like we use cart flows in WooCommerce or ClickFunnels, like you said, that actually, they're in the checkout process. They're putting their name, they're putting their address, then they put their credit card information in, and then right under that you say, here's a one-time offer. Add this to your cart at like 50% off 50% or whatever it might be.
So one thing that has been working, and I think this is, I don't know for sure, I'm just guessing, is that we have two memberships. We have a lifetime membership and we have an annual membership. The lifetime membership gives 2 products away for free that the annual doesn't. What I've done is I've taken those products that would give away for free, mm-hmm. and I put them as an order bump for the annual. So now I've just increased my average order value by $25 because I've taken a product that's normally $50. I offer it to them at half price only during the checkout process. They never see that cost again. And I now take someone who's going to spend $100 and I bring them up to $122. It's actually $97, I should say, and they come up to $122. So that's $25 extra on half of the orders.
Yeah. And I think it works best. I think we've seen that when you can offer them actually the same product, like in some cases, like we have a membership or a product that you would only buy one of that's expensive. You can't really say buy another one of these for 50% off. But if you can have, like, we have another client that does supplements, and I want to say, here's a one-time offer, double your order for 50% off. And I think that works really well if you can do that, if your product allows for that.
Yeah, and the whole point of this is that, as you start scaling your Facebook ads, as ad costs start going up, as all these things start happening, you have to get as much money from your buyers as you possibly can. Now, you should also be sending back-end offers via email. One thing you can do, which I don't and I probably should, is that if they don't take the offer at checkout, I should be sending them an email trying to get them to buy that product at 50% off as well. I just haven't done that yet, but you can also do that.
But that's another one of those things. That's like an optimization and thing. I think people get so hung up on all these back end processes that they feel like they need to have in place, like right at when they first start. When you really just need to get them to buy, and then you get more money out of them as you go.
Let me tell you something, Kevin. Our experience with Facebook ads have been primarily with clients, right? And some of the things that we talk about, we obviously get and we obviously understand. But when a client comes to us, they have history in Facebook ads. They have an offer that they tell us to run, and we just optimize it, right?
Right.
But from the other side of things, now what we're doing with our business is crafting an offer, running the ads, sort of like our listeners. And thinking about it from that perspective is much different than thinking about it when a client comes to you with an ad account that's already been used.
Right.
Okay? And what I mean by that is we've always done things from an optimization standpoint. We really haven't done it until this new business, which, by the way, we hit a record of $124,000 we did last month, which is amazing.
Short month.
And a short month, where it was only 29 days.
29 days. Leap year.
Right. So I'm finally seeing it from the other side of things. And when I see on Facebook how all these people can't sell on Facebook and they're so discouraged and they yell at Mark Zuckerberg and all, it's not Facebook. People are focusing on the wrong things. You know, it's not the tool.
Right.
It's the tooler. You know,
the toolie.
Toolie.
I don't know.
My buddy always tells me, like, I'm a golf fanatic and I always buy golf clubs. And he's like, it's not the club, it's the clubber.
It really is.
It's true. Facebook is just a tool. It's just a vehicle. That's not what sells the product. It just gets your product in front of people. Right?
It's a really powerful tool. You just have to get it to the point where you can get people to buy. Really,
right.
That's it. And then once you got to that point, you're golden. I mean, because then you work on these post-purchase upsells. And I just want to clarify when we talk, because a lot of times we talk about it with our clients or customers or whatever, and we talk about post-purchase, and they don't really kind of understand what that means. So in Shopify specifically, I don't know that you can do it in WooCommerce because of all the open source stuff, but in Shopify, you can use a tool called one-click upsells.
Cartflow does. Yeah. Cartflows does.
Does it do post-purchase though?
Of course it does.
You could do.
Yes.
So you don't have to do the order bump. You could do post-purchase.
No, that's just one of it. It does exactly what ClickFunnels does.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it does post-purchase, does everything.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this is after they've already made their first purchase.
Right, so they gave you the credit card.
Point, yeah.
Right.
So you don't have to worry about losing that first purchase, because sometimes, people think that like the pre-cart upsell is the way to go, but that ends up being kind of like a barrier for people, and they get distracted. They have to think about it, and once they think about it, you've lost them. So you've gotten that first sale. They go to like a one-page, one-time offer that says, "Hey, take this before you go," and it's like a one-click, and they've added it to their order.
I really have to give, Russell Brunson props on this, because first of all, here's the funny part: he's not really even coming up with this stuff. I mean, if you watch like infomercials, everything that he teaches is basically what the infomercial does. Right. So online people are really just taking it from what TV has done. Right. But he really talks about this. Like, he has another thing called like an offer wall. Like, basically in your confirmation page, he has offers in there, or your confirmation email, he'll have like an offer in there.
You ever try to buy over the phone, like on one of those infomercials? Actually, call the 800 number.
Oh my God, they hound you with shit, right?
Yeah.
What about this? Why don't you buy this?
We got this. This makes sense.
Right. So,
but you don't have that person on the other line to do it. So they've created these tools to help you have that same kind of experience online.
Yeah. So for WooCommerce, we use Cartflows, which is amazing. For Shopify, we use One Click Upsell by Zipify. And then you can use ClickFunnels if you want to use their platform. Those are 3 of the ones that we know of.
Yeah. And we actually jumped over to ClickFunnels. We were going to use it for this other offer, but there was just some integration issues. But Shopify has been working great.
Yeah.
Combined with like a landing page.
Right. So guys, this is all cart value. Getting that cart value up so that you can, as Russell says, spend more money to acquire a customer. The more money you can spend to acquire a customer, the better off you'll be.
Cool. All right. So before we go, let's talk about Rakuten Super Logistics.
You got to head over to ecommerceuncensored.com/RSL.
They have a free account set up when you sign up with promo code Uncensored, and that's a $1,500 value. And then we have Klaviyo. Go over to klaviyo.com/uncensored. That's KLAVIYO.com/uncensored. Sign up for their complete growth marketing platform.
And don't forget about ecommerceuncensored.com/truth and sign up to get 50% off our Facebook course.
Yeah, that'll be coming out soon. So thank you guys so much for listening. This has been episode 159, and we'll talk to you guys real soon.
Later.